So Terminator Dark Fate was directed by Tim Miller, and it stars Mackenzie Davis, Linda Hamilton, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Natalia Reyes. This movie was actually something that I was looking forward to just because I am one of the few people that usually enjoy a good Terminator movie. I actually kind of liked Terminator Genesis for what it was. Just a dumb-ass action movie. And, at least that movie had ambition. And I do feel like people kind of really want all of these films to compete with Terminator 2, and guess what? It never will happen. I feel like Terminator Dark Fate is a real product of its time, and I feel like the good things about the film are the good things about this time in cinema, and the bad things about this film are, the products of the bad things in this particular time in cinema. And what I mean is just that, okay, so the good here is the fact that all of our leads are pretty damn good here. The acting in this movie is strong. I would say stronger than all three of the other Terminator sequels since Terminator 2. And that is, you had Christian Bale in one of those. So this is good. Mackenzie Davis is the real standout here, and I definitely feel like she should really go on this track. She has a very physical presence that she has not taken advantage of before this movie, and I feel like she has the attitude and the chops to pull it off in better material. It is excellent to see Linda Hamilton back in this franchise, and for her to get a decent amount of screen time with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I won't spoil how they get together, but they do get a decent amount of screen time here, and they do play off each other very nicely, and I do feel like that is really the strongest portion of this film, and I feel like that is where the more dramatic elements come from in this particular movie. So all of that is excellent. It is very trendy now to have an all-female action cast. We're going to get it in a couple of weeks with the rebooted Charlie's Angels. And I feel like as far as this film, it really works. It plays well, and it does feel very organic. And they take some advantages of the fact that they do have an all-female cast. They relate to each other, and they have more heartfelt moments, and I feel like they bond with each other a lot more than previous other Terminator films, just because of the fact that you're dealing with women that can relate with each other. And I feel like that is just a real strong, dramatic backbone that this movie can hang on and lean on. I don't feel like it takes full advantage of that, but when it does, I definitely feel like those are the stronger moments here. Unfortunately, everything else about this film is either mixed in my book or just completely just doesn't work. This studio, Warner Brothers, is really scared of this property and what came before it. T2 leans heavy on their mind, and they continuously do not just want to leave it behind. And it's the thing where it's like, okay, I don't want to keep on comparing this movie to Terminator 2, but unfortunately you guys won't let me forget Terminator 2. This movie won't let me forget it. Constantly, this movie wants to compare itself, and it fails in that comparison. The plot here is the same. Mackenzie Davis is sent back to protect Natalia Reyes' character because she is important to the future in ways that I won't get into. And really, you know, you can just see where this plot is going. Gabriel Luna is our new Terminator. He's a great concept. He can separate himself and leave his skeleton half behind and is like its own liquid form that can change and shapeshift just like the T-1000. And it's cool. I just really wish there was somebody creative to do something special with it. And that is something that this movie really lacks. There is very little creativity with this film, and you know, a lot of its creativity goes into retconning and just picking apart the past in Terminator films and just recreating its own future. So really, when you are done with that, you are left with a movie that feels really hollow, because so much of their attention just goes to that in this movie. And it's sad, because I feel like this movie was always doomed to fail because they always want to keep reminding you of Terminator 2 and really not letting this particular film stand on its own 2 feet. The action here is mixed. At times, it is great and kinetic, and a lot of it has to do with Mackenzie Davis. She has a physical presence in this movie that I can really jive with and I dig about her. But the way it is shot, the way it is edited, and the frame rate of a lot of these action scenes are really, really distracting. And they take away from the action here. A lot of the action scenes are a lot of quick cuts, a lot of close-ups, and just overall the frame rate was really distracting here of just how quick they wanted to cut away from the action instead of just linger on it. And I feel like that is a big problem with some of the action scenes here. But what I will say about the conclusion of this movie, I won't spoil anything, I will just say that I liked it. It was probably my favorite action scene in the entire movie, and it carried some emotional weight that I did not expect. I really want the Terminator franchise to succeed. I actually like a lot of the action that this franchise has given me, but I feel like they need to stop looking in the past. And this movie still does a lot of that. And for that, I do have to give this a 6 out of 10. I wanted to give it more, but the more I think about this, the more I feel like this particular film is not a step in the right direction for this franchise. So coming up next on the channel, if you thought my horror movie marathon was over just because Halloween is over, guess what? It's not. Because I am reviewing the special edition of The Blob and the Arrow special edition of American Werewolf in London. Both of those were just released this week. I did have a chance to check them out now. We'll be reviewing that for you guys really soon. And if you saw Terminator Dark Fate, comment down below. Let me know what you thought about it. This has been a really divisive movie for Terminator fans, and I want to know what everybody thinks. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. You guys are awesome. I don't need to say it because you know it. And I will see all of you next time.